All right, guys. Well, welcome back to Coffee and Questions. And I'm sure the main reason everybody's watching right now is to see who the winner is of the sweet leather men holster case. Well, it was pretty tough. Those first few days, you guys sent me a lot of email, a little bit more email than I was expecting. Got a little crazy there, but hey, thanks. I mean, it's awesome. So let me put in the magic number into the old tablet, and this is the winner, Ken T. Taylor Kenneth 972 at Gmail. Ken T, you won yourself a Leatherman holster. I'll put that out on Instagram and Twitter. You know that Ken T won. You'll know who you are, and have it down in the description box below also. So yeah, you know, I was thinking maybe I should wait till the end so you guys watch the whole video, but you know what? That's just fucking bullshit. I mean, there's no way. Why would save that suspense for soap operas, right? So let's get to some questions. Coffee and questions. I don't know if you guys noticed, I told you the last time I did one of these coffee and questions that I would have been a little slow on the reviews for a while, and I was. I spent a week and a half working on the new bootguy.com website, just rearranging it, rebuilding it, getting it to be a little bit more user-friendly, mobile-friendly, per se. You know, so it loads up in tablets and phones and on desktops the same across the whole spectrum. So I'm really happy with the way it came out. Wasn't really my plan in life to build web pages, but you know, you kind of got to learn how to do these things, you know, and just get them done. So I think I did pretty good. But let's get to some questions here. So the one question I want to get to first is from Jake Farhar, who asked me about the tough toe material. And in the question he asked, after a cure, does the tough toe bend? Is it flexible at all? So Jake, the tough toe, once it does cure, it's a pliable material. So it means it's flexible, it bends, it doesn't become a hard rock or anything. It has movement to it. So if you're going to put tough toe on a soft toe pair of boots, it's going to be harder than if there was nothing there than just leather, but it does ply and it does bend. It also doesn't mark or scuff, so you don't got to worry about it unless you're on raw concrete. Everything, when it's raw concrete, it's basically like dragging your foot or anything across, it's like dragging your foot across sandpaper, so it does mark there. So yeah, Jake, pliable on that tough toe stuff. So the next question, Aldo Laura 279 asked me on the Under Armour boot, what if I was to use these for a 3-week trekking trip? I don't see any reason why you wouldn't use that Under Armour Valsense for anything that you wanted to throw at it. I mean, it's going to fall apart. It's only glued together. It's super lightweight. It's that 3D printed material. It's not like wearing a big heavy leather boot. It's a lightweight tactical style boot. So yeah, anything you throw at that thing, it's going to take it for a while, and then like anything else, it's just going to fall apart. So as long as you're happy at the end of your 3-week trip that boot is basically, I wouldn't say useless, but just broken down, shit, go for it, you know? Isn't like there's a shortage of boots out there. Put it to its test. UTI asked about the stitching on that Alan Edmonds boot, and he was asking me if it was him or if it did really look like it was crooked. So now, that's a $425 boot is what it should retail for. That's what it's retailing for. I'm sure they have higher MSRPs on that boot. But if you go to the website, and there's a link in the Alan Edmonds comments thing from me that I gave him back to my website for the high resolution detailed photos, there's lots of little defects all through that pair of boots. I've seen better quality on $100 boots, not in the materials used. I mean, Alan Edmonds uses high-end materials, but I've seen better finishing quality. Finishing means things are symmetrical, you cut all your threads, they just look like somebody's taking the time to look them over and just make them look perfect. You finish the product. I've seen better finishing on Kmart boots, on cheap Walmart boots. I've seen those things finished off much better than that pair of Allen Edmonds. Now, I'm not saying that I don't like Allen Edmonds. I'm just saying that pair of boots had a lot of little minor defects that if I was sitting in a shop, if I was sitting in an Allen Edmonds store buying those boots, I probably would not take that pair because of how many little defects I saw. Now, with that being said, I look for defects. I look for things to be off, for little things to not be sewn correctly. So, not saying that everybody would pick up on that stuff and not everybody would notice that stuff, especially if you were excited running out to get your first pair of Allen Edmonds and you wouldn't notice the little threads. You'd just be happy to get those. So, UTI, yeah, there are all tons of little things that were wrong, and yes, the back parts were really crooked. I put a ruler on them. It was an 1/8 inch off from center, from where it should have been, to be completely symmetrical. So, but you can see all that on my on thebootguy.com on the blog posting titled Liverpool. So somebody asked me if I could do a review of the Alden Indie boot, I believe it was. Yeah, the Alden Indie boot. Listen, I would love to review a pair of Alden boots. Unfortunately, Alden Boots hasn't contacted me and said, hey, would you like to review a pair of our boots? And the same thing goes for those Wilcox boots. I keep seeing, every time I load up my Facebook page, I'm getting bombarded with all this advertisement from all these little boot companies that are, just trying to give me 10% off on this or a coupon for that, or want to tell me how they're the world's best boot because somebody thought that they could design a better boot. So, yeah, I would like to do a review on anything from Alden or anything from Wilcox. Just put it out there, just so to see what it's like, to get it in my hands and to really look deep into it. So, next question came from Jacob Poor, asking about the Thorogood 4200. He asked how are those for walking around in grass and dirt and stuff like that, because he rehabs baseball fields and he does a lot of hardscape. Now, the 4200 is excellent on grass. It's excellent in dirt. How's it going to hold up? It's going to hold up like any other wedge sole mock toe boot. Well, not like any other one. There's some garbage out there. We all know that. But it's probably not the best boot for that job. But on a hot summer day when it's 110 degrees outside, I would sooner have a single piece leather boot on my foot than to have something that's got even if it's a wicking polypropylene liner built into it, or a waterproof barrier. So, Jacob, I would say yes, the 814-4200 from Thorogood would be a great boot if you're rehabbing baseball fields and softball fields. I'd imagine you do all types of fields, not just that. I'd imagine that's a great boot for that. I know it's only 3 questions and I'm answering a thing, and I don't want to make this too long, but I got to show off this boot I got. So, this is one of the newest things from Ariat. This is not the review of this boot. I am so impressed with these. So this is the new Ventec from Ariat. See all that inside there? That's all mesh. As your foot heats up inside the boot, heat escapes through the mesh. It's porous, it's beautiful, it's durable, and it looks damn good. I gotta say, this is one of the better looking Western boots that I've seen in a long time, that has a lot of class behind it. And like I said before about the finishing on this thing is pretty damn nice. There's no loose threads, nothing's off, everything's symmetrical all the way through. It's a really nice pair of boots. It's a really great concept when you think about working in a pair of Western pull-on boots. Square toe, wide toe, of course, ATS rubber sole. Beautiful. Like I said, not the review, just showing you, because that is a beautiful boot. So, that's pretty much it for coffee and questions. A couple questions out there. Announcing the winner. The winner again, just in case you missed it at the beginning, is Ken T. Taylor Kenneth 972 at Gmail. You got yourself a beautiful, sweet leather men holster. Hope you enjoy it, brother. If you're watching and you see this, shoot me over an email. Everybody else, I'm sorry, but I will be working up more contests, for the upcoming seasons, for fall and winter. I've got a lot of stuff to give away. I get sent a lot of stuff, so we'll work something through. All right. Please remember to hit that subscribe button below if you haven't already done it, and I will see you next time. Thanks a lot.